We are live.
Let's go.
We live? We live? How we doing, everybody? We got YouTube, we got Instagram. Did I cross those, Sean? How we doing, everybody? Happy Friday. Happy early Mother's Day. We're going to give it just a moment, let some more viewers join in the broadcast. Got Vincent here. How you doing today?
Good. We're excited to kind of showcase a few different products, but also Mother's Day. It's a big day for us, right?
Absolutely. Mother's with us, Mother's not with us anymore. They're always in our hearts, so definitely a day to remember and appreciate everything that they do. Wouldn't be here without them. Got a kind of a Mother's Day theme. As you can see, today we're going to be breaking down one of the latest machines that we've been offering. It's been doing pretty dang well. What printer we got here?
Yeah, we have our L2, our DTF printer here. If you haven't heard about it, we're going to go and talk about it because there's a lot of misconceptions, a lot of questions. I know throughout the week we've been asking customers and maybe potential customers that are interested a whole list of what you guys want to know, because like I said, there's a lot of DTF printers out there, and our L2 is different.
There we go. Now, we're big fans of this machine. It is fast, it is efficient, and at 16 inches wide, you can really cover a lot of different bases. You figure even on your larger 2X, 3X, are you ever really going to need to go beyond a foot, 13 inches wide? So this will cover all your different sizes. But if you did need a longer dimension, we have a machine connected to the printer. What do you call this guy in front of the L2, Vince?
This is our L16. It's actually a shaker powder, fully automated system, right? And so what you do is you take your roll that you have here, you connect it to your take-up reel, and the beauty of it is it's automated, right? So if you need to send 50 jobs, 100 jobs, you get that line up in your software, hit send, it's going to powder, it's going to cook, and it's going to end up on your take-up reel ready to go.
That's right, true roll-to-roll printing. So we're starting to say, if you are capped at that 16 inches wide, turn that design sideways. You can have continuous, non-stop, hands-free, fully automated roll-to-roll production. So the powder machine, it's going to apply the powder for us. It's going to smack off all that excess. You don't want little dots around your beautiful DTF prints. And not only that, it's going to cook and cure this powder to the film. So when it winds up at the take-up reel, I mean, they could sell them, they could ship them, they're ready to apply.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. You have a full roll of all those completed transfers. You can go ahead and cut them, like Esteban said, put them in a tube, ship them off to your customer, or press them on the shirts, or any fabric material really, right? It's not just t-shirts.
No way. I mean, we've been doing backpacks, lunch pails, cat carriers, duffel bags, really anything you can get even contact on with your heat press. You can transfer these high resolution, really soft feel designs, and they last. I would compare the washability with the right settings, to similar to DTG, right around that 50-60 range?
The secret is actually the adhesive, and so the powder is your adhesive. If you do DTG, you're familiar with pre-treating, but actually our powder is why it's so durable and why the washability is so good. And so if you haven't used DTF but you've used transfers, this powder is actually what gives it that rubbery feel in the back and allows it to be super durable.
Exactly. Now, we do got some questions here. We're going to start diving into these. Now, Vincent, what would you say approximately is the physical footprint on here? I mean, you guys can see right here, it's about, what, I think 47 inches left to right?
Yeah, so it's not big at all. So in terms of width, about 47, and from front to back, I'd say about 30 inches. Again, if you want the machine, you can get the machine by itself. You know, it starts to get a little bit larger footprint when you add our shaker powder system on. But I do have some customers that just strictly have the printer itself, and so it's not a big footprint at all.
Fantastic. And as you can see, the height on here, it's not that tall either. So this is something you can really wheel around your print shop, find different locations where you're going to be sending your jobs from, and it'll fit through a normal sized door. Now, another big bonus about this, electricity-wise, this thing is an industrial printer. It's meant to produce volume. But does that mean I need industrial electrical for the printer?
No, so we've actually made a lot of adjustments. This is one of the few DTF printers at this size that is a 110, and so you do not need special electrical anymore for our DTF printer, which is great.
That is awesome. Fantastic. Now, we're going to dive into some of these questions. I got my phone out here. If there are any questions that we haven't gotten to yet, we'll try to get to all of these here. But let's give some shout outs to some of our attendees. We got Dala David TD. Man, the devoted brand. They've been killing it with the Prestige DTF printers. You see all the content?
I've seen their content on Instagram. It's amazing. I don't know what you're using to shoot. It looks amazing, and using your Prestige DTF printer. And so you use the equipment, so you know firsthand experience of how well it is once you have it operating and you're ready to go. So keep making those videos. I love watching them, and it looks great.
Got that on there. It's gonna be Mother's Day Live. You want to get that one sent on there for us. Let's see who else we got tuning in. Vin, thank you so much for starting your weekend off early with us. What do we got here? Hidden1_357. I see we got 3L_2URDO. This is some numerical usernames here. We got Chaotic Prince in the house. There's my boy Devoted Beast. L2 is a beast. That is right. You know what? We're gonna jump into a question real quick. Vincent, at our recommended resolution settings, what would you say they can estimate approximately how many square feet an hour? This thing's no slouch, right?
No, not at all. So there's different print modes inside our software, but I always say it's anywhere from 60 to 70 square feet an hour, depending on actual print mode. In production, what I run everything on, I get closer to that 70 range. We could bump the settings down to where we can actually print more, but again, I like to keep it on a high-res production mode. That way my output's good every single time. It's consistent and it looks the same when I send it to a customer or if I press it on a shirt.
There we go, fantastic. You know, I'm not sure if the file transfer, we got anything else colorful-wise we want to send on through there. Let's see, we got Rena joining, thank you so much. Three Kings Printing, we got Oasis DK19, DCN Philly. If you guys are watching from other parts of the United States, let us know in the comment section if you don't have any questions just yet. Love to see where our viewers are coming from. Vincent's sending some jobs right now. What do we got here? BLA Apparel, there we go, shout out to Devoted Brand, holding it down. Icon Marketing, Cartel Prints, fantastic. We're gonna make this a fun one. We're coming to you on IG and YouTube this morning. Alrighty, so, alright, can I start off with the hard one?
Yeah.
Alright, now this is a question we get on a lot of our different equipment pieces. What kind of daily maintenance does the Prestige L2 need on a regular, like day in, day out?
You know, so daily maintenance, it's really basically the same as any actual printer, right? So you need to do your nozzle checks, you need to do your head cleanings. It all varies depending on how often you're using the machine, but again, nozzle check, head clean is really all you need to do.
Fantastic. There we go. We got cleaning solution in the lines. We have agitation, circulation, some of the nice upgrades. I mean, as soon as you power on, you can already start hearing that whiting stirring, right?
Yeah, so we have a few different features on this machine, such as a whiting stir inside the white bottle. You do still need to shake it, you know, every single day if you are operating it, which I would suggest doing, but the machine actually does it for you. So if you're not shaking it by hand, the machine will stir it for you.
Fantastic. All right, now, Vincent, we hear a lot of misconceptions about direct-to-film these days, how sensitive they may be, how much attention they need, how often they need to be run. We got a question that came in last week on IG. Does this printer need to be run every single day?
No, not at all. That's the beauty of it, right? So we print on Fridays. Like today, we will come in until Monday, Tuesday, maybe do a demo or do a live. And so there's like 5 days in between where we don't actually touch the machine at all, which is totally fine. You know, I do suggest though, the more you use it, it's kind of like a car. The more you use it, you know, consistently, the more or less maintenance you're going to need to do long term. And so if you can print more often, great. If you're not, just shake your whitings. You know, every other day, even if you're not printing, walk by, do a head clean just to be safe, but you don't have to print every single day.
Very good. Again, you know, a lot of different printers coming out. DTF has been going so crazy these past few years, and it's hard to really know which direction to take. So having warranty protection, having a machine that's been thoroughly tested. Speaking of warranty, it's another question here. The machine does come with a manufacturer's warranty protection on some of the parts, right?
Yeah, so the machine itself has a 1-year warranty, which is great. The actual print head, which is kind of like the most important one, right? Because a lot of DTF printers, they have no warranty on the print head, and the print head is what runs this machine. Our DTF Station L2 and XL2 has a 6-month, but it covers 2 print heads, which is huge, right? So we all make mistakes, you know, if we're printing and we have a head strike, we're printing, we lift the film, it gets damaged, not a problem, we'll go ahead and get you a print head and get that all swapped out for you. So 1 year on the whole machine and 6 months on the print head, which is great.
There we go. Now, is this machine a single or dual head print head? If so, what print head is in the printer?
So that's what makes this machine so fast, is that there's 2 heads, one dedicated for CMYK and one dedicated for white.
So we're getting a really nice congruence with the layering of this. That's why it's able to spit out, what we say, about 50, 60 square feet an hour?
Yeah, depending on the print mode, like I said, around that 60 square feet per hour. But again, dedicated I-3200 Epson print heads on that, CMYK, and a white dedicated makes it so fast.
Absolutely. All right, now rolling along here. Now, we got the powder machine set up in front of the printer. Do we need the powder machine to run the Prestige L2 16-inch?
You know, so technically you don't, and I kind of mentioned before that some customers that maybe don't have the space to run one of these guys, but they get this machine and they're planning on outgrowing their space because they will based on the output. But if you really want to use this machine as it's intended, I would suggest having it one of these guys here, because this keeps up with the speed of the actual printer itself. Now you can print one design at a time, cut it, and powder it by hand, which I think we did some transfers here.
Yes, that's right.
So if you want to show them, so we actually went ahead and printed one, we cut it by hand, and that's as a powder.
Yeah, I got a little powder station right here, and it's super quick. All you're gonna do is bring in your design. The wet ink is gonna grab the powder there for us. And you're just gonna try and make a nice layer. I see people do this sometimes in as quick as 2 passes. I usually like to do a little overkill to make sure I've covered all the different wet inks. And then what you're gonna wanna do is kind of aim this away from anybody in your shop and just removing all that excess around your images. You don't want that to transfer as little dots. Now this one here, we'll go ahead and get this cured up. I do have the Tiger. I'm gonna go ahead and get this pressed, Vince. We wanna see, I think we were about right around question 7.
Yeah, so this kind of goes along with it actually. So the t-shirt you're using doesn't need to be pre-treated. Can you kind of go into the detail?
Absolutely. Now, for all of our direct-to-garment customers, friends, and family, you know pre-treat is probably the most important part of the entire process. Without pre-treating our colored garments, we can't print white ink, we can't do full color, we can't do our underbase. Now, if you're working with a white or very light garment, you may not be pre-treating every single time. But this garment, I mean, you guys can't really feel it. There is no pre-treat on here. This is a raw cotton blend. I'm just gonna throw this into the machine, lay it out nice and quick, give you a fast demo here. Now, I'm not pressing anything just yet but the shirt. This is called the pre-press. What this is going to do is allow the fibers to lay down nice and flat and give me a nice smooth application area. Now I'm just going to go ahead and position this transfer, a little bit of an oblong shape, so I'm going to go ahead and get this a little off center here, just kind of like do a mock pocket logo. Thank you so much. Now next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this collar and I'm going to slide it off my platen. All the sleeves, all that excess stitching, so that my heat press is going to make contact only with the flat garment. And then before I close it, we're gonna go ahead and place that cover sheet over, protect my heating element, because you never know. It could be late night, long hours, holiday weekend. You put that transfer upside down and you just DTF your heating element. You don't want that. So if you do have your protection here in place, it's gonna keep your heating element clean and free of any sort of dirt, dust, debris, any ink, any transfers you don't want on there. Now, Vince, what transfer film are we working with today on the machine?
This is our DTF Station brand transfer film, so it's actually called a warm peel. So we get that question a lot, is it a cold peel, is it a hot peel? You want to see what Esteban's doing here. He pressed it, he's going to go ahead and rub
It's
it.
a light rub, and I think that should be good.
Yeah.
It's a warm peel. Boom! Just like that. That was fast. Basically a hot peel. We're going to call it warm peel because as you can see, we did wait just a moment there before we did the removal, and that's going to be referring to the release layer coating on the film. Now, hot peels and warm peels will typically have higher amounts of this release layer. That's what allows it to come off the garment a little quicker. And cold peel, by comparison, that'll have more of your ink absorbing layer. So all these different layers that go into the PET film, that's why you always want to have a very reputable company you're getting your supplies, your equipment, and your materials from. I think we had a compatibility question on there, right, in regards to ink and film?
Yes, that was actually our next question, and I love that you're talking about it, because the question is, can I use any film / powder / ink? And guys, what's really important when using any DTF printer is to make sure that your ink is compatible with your film. Powder itself is pretty universal. There's a couple different actual thicknesses of powder that you can get. We only saw one style. It's a very fine grain, so you can get those really small details. But when it comes to actual ink and film, it's very, very important. If you're getting some random film from Amazon or anything like that, and you put the same settings from our software onto that film, it's not going to work the same. Are films all created equal?
Absolutely not. Especially with the rise in popularity that we mentioned, we've been seeing over these past few years. We got products, supplies, materials really coming from all over the US. So you want to make sure that one, you're working with a larger, reputable manufacturer that's going to offer consistency. Just because you got one good film one time, if it's a smaller company where their quality control standards may be all over the place, it may not necessarily be the same quality next batch. So you guys may not know this. If you've been on the YouTube, we kind of did a breakdown on film. Before products ever make it to our website, before customers can ever purchase them, they go through rounds and rounds of testing to make sure they're going to perform and that we can support it at the end of the day.
Yeah, this just isn't a studio where we do all our filming. It's actually where we do our testing. And so we've tested numerous rolls, different ink manufacturers to kind of get the right formula. And so again, we do tech support all the time where it's like, hey, my reds aren't turning red, what's going on? You know, it's a different film, it just absorbs the ink differently, has a different release layer, so they're not all the same. Anything that's on a Prince Supply Co. website though has been tested with our L2, our Prestiges, and so they're good to go.
Fantastic. So you've got some more comments and questions. Thank you guys so much for making this a fun one. We've got Cartel Prints. They're saying they need to add a roller to their Prestige 8 Plus in the future. That would be great. You know, we do have the Prestige 8 Plus R, and then I think we started a little bit of a trade-in program at the moment in case someone's interested in one of these larger machines, right? That's going on with DTF Station.
We recently did a promotion that's still going, guys. If you do have a desktop Prestige 8 Plus or 8 Plus R, go ahead and contact your dealer because we can actually go ahead and get you into one of these. Again, the desktop versions are awesome, but in terms of speed and production, it's great to get started, but this is really what I would like you guys to get into. If you are making transfers, if you are making shirts, it's just much faster. Runs the same software though, I will say. So if you are using our Prestige desktop version 83 Plus, 80 Plus R, the transition is super easy. It's the same exact way you're printing, just on a larger scale.
Fantastic. I'm jumping over to the YouTube right now. We are on Instagram and YouTube Live. Get some of these comments on here. And I do got one from Kenya Forest. Now they're saying, would you suggest the L2 as opposed to a DTG DTF?
You know, it really depends on production. When you're doing mass production, DTF roll to roll is just so much easier. If you're doing 50 jobs on the DTG printer, which is totally doable, you're feeding one shirt at a time, making it print, pre-treating that shirt, curing the shirt. Or here we're just printing the transfers and it's really easy. So for volume printing, I love DTF. If you are doing like one-offs or doing custom clothing, maybe you do smaller runs, DTG is really good for that. But again, nothing beats roll printing with our DTF printer.
No, you're looking at volume, efficiency, that definitely be the way to go. I couldn't agree more. We got another one here. We got Rick Ramirez, Rick's 2 cents, saying, depending on what you're pressing after the print, after you peel, makes a difference in how the prints look. Yeah, I definitely say that. I mean, we see different products out there like the T-Seal. Sometimes we'll use the garment itself as our cover sheet. And these different finishing sheets can give you a different texture, as well as pressing the fiber imprintation into the actual design. So a lot of different ways out there. Well, some people will use the parchment paper. We're partial pretty much to these double-sided thick-coated sheets because they're very reusable.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of bang for your buck with these guys.
Yeah, and typically when you first put your transfer, it will have a little bit of a little shimmer to it. Or it'll have a little more of a hand texture feel, almost like more transfer feel. I do always hit it with that second press because it kind of does, like Esteban said, push it into the fibers. It makes the transfer feel softer. And longevity-wise too, I just know it's in that garment, it's not going anywhere.
Exactly. We'll keep the party rocking here, guys. Can you run this printer on an Apple Mac computer?
So the actual answer is technically no, because our RIP software that we use, which is our Cabinet Digital Factory, is Windows-based only. The profiles have been made for PC, and so we run all of our Prestige printers with our Cabinet, but it is Windows only. It doesn't require a whole lot, you know. You don't need a super fancy, editing computer or gaming computer. But something modern, something I believe is 8 gigs of RAM, nothing crazy. And so just make sure you have something current, and it'll run just fine.
And there we go. We're huge fans of the Cabinet Digital Factory. They have RIP softwares for all the major printing machines you can think of out there: Solvent, DyeSub, Direct to Garment. But there's so many helpful editing tools in there. We're talking a little bit before live how I should really learn Photoshop. I am not a graphic designer by any means, but there's so many helpful little devices in there. If you need to knock a background color out, or remove the color blue, or maybe you want to add distortion or distressing, CADLink is a really fan-favorite program, and that's why we partnered with them to power all these different machines that we offer, especially for direct-to-film. Now this kind of leads me to my next question here, Vince.
Yeah.
We're running CADLink. We just told them all the great things, why we love CADLink. Can you print DTF from Photoshop?
You know what? So I would highly suggest not doing that, and that answer I'm going to tell you is a no. It's because our CADLink software has profiles, again, to match our ink and to match our film. And so we make sure that the quality of design and the graphic here is going to look exactly the same on that transfer and the same when you press it on the shirt. And so CADLink, we work really hard with CADLink. They're a great company to actually make those profiles, like I said, for our ink and film. And so, no, you can't print from Photoshop.
Okay, there we go. Now we got one coming in here from Cartel Prints on the IG Live. They're asking, how is the CADLink V11?
So there's actually, I was able to test it. We were at a trade show in Las Vegas, and I was able to play with it. The biggest thing that I think a takeaway is the highlight white feature, and I think for us DTF users, that's going to be the most important thing. That layer of white that goes down with that CMYK pass, it looks good, you know, but if you want to get a little splash of white to make it even more vibrant, version 11 does allow that, and so that would be the most useful thing that I've seen from that. There's also a bunch of different other features inside the software that if you don't have a design software, editing software, Catalog's great for that because there's so much you can do inside the software that we only touch service level, right? When all we do is bring our design in, choose our profile, send the job, maybe size it. But inside Catalog, if you really want to get into it, they have webinars where we have a bunch of content on our channel, but Catalog is awesome, it's really powerful. So I would dive into it if you want to learn more about it.
Absolutely. And for anyone on Instagram, if you're not watching our YouTube channel, make sure you head over and subscribe. I know all our YouTube audience who is joining us already. Thank you so much. We're going to have a video coming out very soon, kind of breaking down some of the newer features of Catalog version 11. We've been running V10 for months and months. Version 11 just came out on Monday. I believe it was the 8th. So we're going to be covering that one in depth. Make sure you guys stay tuned, subscribe, turn that post notification bell on when you hit the subscribe button. That way you're always the first to know when any of our late breaking news. But we'll keep the ball rolling here. We kind of broke down a little bit already what's the difference between hot and cold peel. It's going to come down to the release layer. If your film has a higher layering of that release portion, then you'll be able to remove it a little bit quicker. Now, we only offer a few hot peels because in our testing, they weren't always as consistent, right?
Yeah, again, the coating is really thin on hot peel films, and so we've only stuck to our DTF station or eco-free. Cold peel, hot peel, and quality, there's really no difference, but I know when DTF first came out, everyone was using cold peel because that's what was available. There's a lot of our loyal customers love cold peel, they stuck with it. But again, hot peel, or warm peel as I say, is a little bit newer, and so if you are getting into DTF, I would try our warm peel. If not, we have cold peel available, but DTF station film is my preferred choice.
There we go. All right, rolling along here. Vincent, what would you say are approximate heat press settings for direct-to-film?
Yeah, so each film typically is around the same time and temp, but for specific films, we do have that on our site. So our DTF station film that we're using is 320 for 15 seconds, and it's on a medium pressure. I want it to be comfortable when I'm using my heat press. I don't want to have to fight my heat press to close it. But again, 320 for 15 seconds. And then again, the secondary press, same thing, 320, but it's for about 5 seconds.
Fantastic. And this is totally right. It's going to be always sort of around that range depending on the manufacturer. You always want to go off of their individual instructions. And if you're purchasing from a reputable supplier, like All American Print Supply, you're always going to have those instructions as far as the peel, time, pressure, you got it. And if you do run into questions, after purchase support is something very paramount we try to emphasize. If it's the L2, when you purchase this, you get your on-site installation and training, or maybe you have one of those prestige A3 Plus Rs. Then you'll have your weekly webinar training available here. And then maybe you're running a direct-to-garment printer like the F2100. We've got a live weekly training webinar on there. So try to make sure you have all your bases covered, all your questions answered. Let's see, let's keep going here. Vince, can DTF really apply to everything?
You know, so there are some limitations with DTF, and I think that's a little misconception is that they think, hey, it can go on any material, right? But the thing I stay away from are ceramics. So like your drinkware, mugs, cups. I've tried to put it on it. It will transfer, but longevity, the adhesive kind of gets squished into the ceramic. You know, you can peel it off really hard if you try to. So stick with fabric materials. I have customers that do stuff as crazy as leather, shoes, hats, wallets. Any kind of fabric material will work just fine.
There we go. If it's treated or not, like leathers Vincent mentioned, windbreakers, safety vests, things that are meant to repel moisture, even things that aren't solid. I mean, we've done mesh holy jerseys, basketball shorts and stuff like that. So when it comes to garments and apparel, anything fabric related, bags or otherwise, you're gonna have a really smooth time with that. We got some more questions coming in here from the live. Cartel Prince is asking, do you have stock of the reflective DTF film? If they're talking about the foil, we just got those in.
Yeah, so we have like gold, silver. I think you were testing the other day.
Correct. We have a gold, silver, and a glitter foil. Those are going to be for white ink only. And when you transfer those, you're going to prepare it the normal way as direct to film, powder the white ink, dry it to the film, and then press it. However, depending on what glitter film or foil that you've chosen, that's what your design is going to be. Now we do have a glitter film, I believe, that we just listed also. That'll give you the full CMYK. You can see the color values of these full color designs, but that's going to have sort of a glitter kind of shine, sparkly effect. You saw the sample we made, right?
Yeah, so it's going to be anywhere it has your ink on it. It's going to have a little bit of specks of actual glitter on it. I think it can replace a lot of your glitter HTV that you're using currently. I know that's a big market right now, and so if you want an easier way to cut, weeding, all that stuff, check out the glitter actual film that we have now.
There we go, fantastic. We got the question here coming in from Desist, pardon me if I mispronounced that, Desist Designs HD. What comes with the printer?
Yeah, so it really depends. We have a bunch of bundles on the website. We have our printer itself. It's going to come with a stand as well. It'll have the take-up reel. It'll have your dampers, everything. But we sell bundles, which is the best part. So when you get the machine, you want to get the right bundle that fits your needs. And so we have bundles that have 16-inch rolls that come with it with a full set of ink. Basically, it's kind of like a starter bundle. This machine can also take smaller rolls. And so if you don't have space for a shaker like this size, we do have our Seismo A13 or a Seismo 11, which is smaller, which can allow the smaller roll to go through. But again, when you get the printer, it does come with a stand. It does come with dampers, all that good stuff.
Fantastic. I got some more comments coming in from Rick Ramirez, Rick's 2 cents. He's saying that he actually bumps his temperature up about 5 degrees to 325, and he's seeing less residue left behind from the powder. Now, I've noticed that as well when I do the second press. If you do have any kind of dots or specks from your melting powder around your image, that'll give you a chance to kind of melt, kind of cook that into the material. But I'm going to say if you're working with a good film that has a good anti-static layer, your film residue around with the powder really should be to a minimum. So I'm going to say it's going to come down to the quality of your materials you're working with first, but that's a nice little tip there from one of our end users in the audience. Here's another one here. Are these machines in stock? Is there a lead time on L2?
You know, right now I believe we have a few available, but a lead time I believe is about 2.5 weeks right now to get those shipped out to you. They do come freight, and so there's a little bit of lead time as far as getting the freight scheduled, the delivery freight to you, and then they'll call you and say, hey, freight's here, or freight's going to be here tomorrow. Please make sure someone's available to go ahead and sign for it. So just give us a couple weeks and we can get that out to you.
Fantastic. Now, when I get my Prestige L2, let's say I'm one of these beautiful folks joining us here on the Friday Mother's Day Live Prestige L2 16-inch GTF printer special. I get my new machine.
Yeah.
How hard is this for me to install?
You know, so what's the beauty of it is that we do the actual install for you. We have a technician that goes to your location and teaches you everything, right? You can have the best equipment in the world, but if you don't know how to operate it properly, it's no use, right? And so one of our certified technicians would actually go out to your location, set up your film, set up your shaker dryer, show you how to print, get the software going, basically teach you everything you need to know. Usually it lasts a couple hours. The only thing we do ask of you though is when you get the printer, we have a short 10-minute video that I think Esteban made on how to put it on the stand. That way when he gets there, he can really get into the important details of actually operating the machine and not building a stand.
Fantastic. You guys have been to IKEA before, right? I know we made some furniture in the past. It's not that hard. We got the videos on there. You should be receiving those once you receive your machine or once you place your order for that, so you can have that on standby and you get your trainer, your installation person at your location. It could be at the home, at the business. You can come by, make sure everything's up and running and you know what you're doing. So I guess this kind of goes hand in hand into that question. Is training included with the installation?
Yeah, it's something that you add to your package when you're building it out with your sales rep. So wherever dealer you're getting from, All American's awesome. Go ahead and whoever rep you're talking to, make sure they get that included. Because like I said, no matter where you're at, our technician will fly out to your location and go ahead and get you all trained and installed.
There we go. All right, now we talked about the daily maintenance being quite minimal. You want to have your agitation of your white inks, create your nozzle check, run a head clean, make sure those channels are firing properly. Vincent, what would you say is kind of a breakdown of the weekly maintenance?
You know, so weekly maintenance, again, nozzle check, head cleans. There is a wiper blade that you should be cleaning. It's basically just a little piece of rubber. It takes 30 seconds to clean. You just wipe it with your cleaning swabs. Also wet capping, it's a big one. If you're not familiar with wet capping, we have a whole library of videos on this machine that if you want to watch before, go to the dtfstation.com website and we'll have a whole library of videos to show you what maintenance you're going to be doing. That way you kind of have a head start before you dive in. But again, very minimal stuff like wet capping, cleaning around the head, cleaning wiper blade, cleaning your controllers, all that good stuff.
Fantastic. Look at that machine. Sean's getting in there nice and personal-like with that printer. It is a beautiful, gorgeous machine. I kind of want one. It would fit in the apartment, I feel like.
Yeah, I know Sean was getting a close-up of this. So actually, there's a cover that goes on here. But what we've actually done is we've taken it off for our viewers at home that they can actually see how easy it is to get inside the machine. So there's actually just a little cover that goes on top, but these are your dampers and that's your print head. So to replace any of those, our technician does go over that on the install, how to do that, but it takes 30 seconds to replace a damper and about 2 minutes to replace your print head. So we'll make it really easy for you.
Fantastic. We're getting close to the end of our program. We got time for just a couple more questions, everyone. We got 3 Kings Printing. They're asking if the glitter film comes in 13-inch roll. I don't have the website in front of me, but it's super easy to navigate. When you're online, you can go down to the media section, and then you kind of break down if you're looking for direct-to-film, if you're looking for sublimation media, maybe white toner. Go to the DTF, you can take a look at the different size and color options on there. It'll also show you where it's in stock, if it's going to be drop shipped, or if it is discontinued or on a lead time, something like that. But I would definitely refer to the website for most up-to-date information. That's going to be a.printsupplyco.com. Vincent, where would I get my artwork for printing? I know we got some pretty cool designs we've been doing today. Where would they go for that?
You know, everyone's situation is a little bit different in terms of being the actual person that does the printing. And so if you're doing custom work, I'm sure a customer is going to give you USB like Esteban did in the beginning and says, can you print this for me? If you're getting jobs from the school, they're going to have their artwork for you. As far as getting artwork though, online would probably be your best bet. But inside the software, which is something that I love about it, and it's really cool, is that if you bring a file in that's too small, it'll tell you right away, like, hey, this is a low resolution file. Let's try to blow it up for you to make it better quality so we can actually print the design. And so that's actually a good like benchmark. Is my file high enough resolution when the customer sends it? So before you even take on your job, I would say, hey, send me your artwork, let me check, and also it'll ping me right away so I know, hey, you need a better file to send me. So work with your customers on that. And again, if you do have to edit their artwork, that's a little charge, right?
Absolutely. You better believe it. Extra service, extra charge, extra invoicing. I was going to say something out there, like maybe your Shutterstock. I know that's where a lot of people will get some license-free designs and things that they can use for commercial or personal usage. Devoted Brand saying that Kindle.com could be another one. And then we've gotten some decent success with Fiverr. So there's a lot of graphic designers on there who are looking to do work for you. So if you're not graphic designingly trained like I am, then there's always options out there for you. Getting close to the end here, guys. I guess we'll wrap it up with this one here. Why the L2, and what would you say are some of the, give me 2 main reasons what makes us better than other direct-to-film printers out there?
You know, one of the biggest things is our support. We take pride, working with DTF Station and having a company that actually has different levels of DTF printers that supports any customer, whether you're starting out, whether you're full production. Also, too, the footprint. I don't know if you've been to a trade show and you've seen other 16 or 24-inch DTF printers, but they're twice the size, right? And they also take longer to print because they're so much bigger that carriage needs to go back and forth. And also the library of content. Again, if you're on the fence about getting a machine like this, go to the DTF Station website. There's a whole library of videos you can kind of dive in before you actually make the purchase. And so again, there's a ton of reasons about this machine that it makes it so great. But we're just getting started, right?
That's right. It is super fast. Again, head over to the YouTube channel. We got them on DTF Station. They got some awesome content. Our home channel, A.Print.Supply.Co on YouTube.com. Content added weekly. And then again, if you guys are watching, if you have the Prestige A3 Plus, the Prestige A3 Plus R, and this is something you are interested in, contact us. Get in touch with your sales rep. We do have the trade-in program. There's some stipulations. We're going to need that receipt. We're going to need you to be the original owner. The machine should have been purchased within the last 12 months and must be in good condition, good or great working order. But our sales reps can get you all the information on that. And then we have 0% financing going on. I know it's a promo we started a couple weeks ago. We've extended it. And if you are looking to get into a payment plan, build that business credit, keep your capital in your pocket, it'd be a great opportunity to jump in with a machine like the L2 if your business is at that point, or if you're planning to get there. With the speed of this machine, the build quality, the after-purchase support and training, this is a machine that can scale and grow with you should production volumes increase. 60 feet an hour, that's a lot of printing. So even with this small footprint, it is small but mighty. I know we got Mother's Day, some of our mothers joining in. I saw my brother pop in here. Thanks, Lou. You should be working. Got Chantal Corona saying hello. Got some of our other friends, RBY Prince. Want to thank everyone for jump-starting the Mother's Day weekend with us early. And you got any Mother's Day shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, shout out to, well, first of all, my mom and also Chantal Corona.
There we go.
Mother's Day, and we're excited. Yes, we got a lot of things coming with new DTF products, and again, we're going to have many more lives with featuring new stuff that we're coming out, so I'm really excited.
There we go. Yeah, shout outs to all the moms out there. Shout out to my mom. What's up, Ivy? Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. Hope you guys have a wonderful holiday weekend. This video should live on the IG, so if you guys do have any questions we didn't get to, head over, comments. We see them every day. We'll respond to those pretty quickly. But I think it's pretty much going to wrap it up. You got anything else for them?
No. Check out our website, guys, and don't be afraid to check out DSafeStation.com. Check out our videos.
There we go. Happy Mother's Day from all of us here at All American Principal. You guys have a safe and happy holiday weekend. We will see you on the next one.